butter really cold, because if your butter were any softer, that would just be a sloppy mess, which is not what you want. Okay, so I managed to spill sugar all over my scale. Awesome. Now what's the next step? Next step is caramelized the pineapple. Excellent. All right, so for that I need 25 grams of butter. I'm back here with this, and I got that knife all wet, so let's grab another one. And oh, aloha! Welcome! Good to see you! Thanks for the shout out, URC. You catch them before I even get a chance to say so. You are so on top of it. I am very lucky to have such a great mod. And yes, it is a pineapple caramel custard tart today, and it is a timed event, so we shall see if I can actually get that done. So I need 25 grams of butter. Doesn't seem like enough butter for pineapple, but let's see here. 15, 18, and 25, 26. Yeah, that's okay. I'm just melting it in the pan anyways, so that's not a big deal. So I'm actually going to put that over on the stove. So glad you're here, Aloha. Hope you're having a great Saturday so far. Are you in Vancouver, Aloha? Because I think I saw you posting something about a marathon, half marathon. That's really cool. Is it the Seawees? I think that's what it was called. Alrighty, so I have got this here. I'm going to put this on medium heat and let that melt. Meanwhile, I am going to bring out one of the most fun things I own. Let's go back here. And it is my pineapple corer. This thing is the best. Like, cutting pineapple is a nightmare. And trying to get all the skin and stuff off is just disaster most of the time. So rather than that, we are going to hack the top off here. And then we are going to hopefully get this fairly BMO nice. That's awesome. Well, I hope the weather is good for you guys. And then all you do, so I'm just going to bring this forward a little bit, is you just turn it and it just slices right down. So it asked for one pineapple cored and chunked, so it will get the pineapple cord, which is fantastic, and you don't have all those little brown things on the end. But like, honestly, this thing is probably the best like unitasker I've bought. And it was like, I've seen them at Bed Bath & Beyond, like OXO makes one, and it was like $40. Yes, gadgets, I have them all. This was $4 at Dollarama, and it works just as well. And I highly recommend that if you want pineapple this summer, that you get yourself one of these, because it will just make your life so much easier. So you just go down as far as you possibly can, and then I can feel the suction. Oh, look at this. Yes. And you're left with that. So, and if you're, I went a little too far. But if you don't go all the way down like I did, you could actually save it as a drink vessel. So yeah, it is. And there's lots of good juice in there. So yeah, I'm actually just gonna slide this out of the way. And then to release, you just pop the handle off. And very carefully, because this is super sharp, obviously, slide it right off. Like, one of my favorite things on the planet. and I highly recommend everybody have one. So, since that saved so much time, very excited about that. I'm just gonna cut right down. Oh, this pineapple is nice and juicy today. It says chunks, so I'm just gonna go with kind of like tidbitty types. Yeah, that should be a good size. I don't want them too big, because they end up going on top of the tart. They're more decoration, so I'm not even sure I really need all of it. Like, it says 1 pineapple. It seems like a lot for the top of 1 tart. But, yeah, I'll do a few more. I don't think I'm going to use this whole pineapple. I think they were being a little overzealous with their measurements there. Okay. Oh, I can hear my butter starting to sizzle, so we're gotta head back over to the stove. Yeah, I'm not gonna use all that. I just slide that out of the way. Yeah, that's plenty. So grab that. And I also need brown sugar, 50 grams. So I'll just weigh that out. Yeah, I love, I'm thinking they must have been smaller pineapple. They had to have been smaller pineapples, because, yeah, like, that's a lot for 1 tart. And, yeah, Dollarama, I walk in the door, and I literally probably spend, like, half an hour staring at all the cool stuff that they have on the wall as you first come in. Like, they know their audience. They know they've got me. So, just regular dark brown sugar here. And try to get some that isn't quite so clumpy. 40, 44, 46. Yeah, well, and it's funny because when I was out buying the pineapple today, they actually had pre-cut pineapple, cored and peeled, and basically I think they used this exact same machine. And did that. So, but it was funny because it was the same price as the pineapple, but I'm like, that's kind of cheating, so I didn't really want to do that. I figured if I have a time limit and need to get it done, then I'm going to do it with, you know, having to do it like they all did, which is right from the beginning. Yes. Oh, Elizabeth, you have a ton of really good stuff. All right. So I'm going to put the pineapple and the sugar in the pan now that the butter's all nicely melted. I'm going to go in with the sugar first, and then I'm going to get the pineapple in, and we're going to watch this because we do not want this to burn, because between the sugar and the pineapple and the actual sugar, that could go south very quickly. So just move that out of the way. So we've got pineapple juice all over the stove. I'll try not to do that. Yeah, no. Elizabeth has a wide range of super fun things, and we sort of feed off each other, have all the good stuff. Oh my goodness, it smells so good already. Oh, I subscribe to the, if I look at it and think it's awesome and fun, then you probably will too, so that helps. And go gadget mom. Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, like I have all the kind of whisks that you could possibly want. I'm just going to turn the heat up a smidge on this just to let it really get going. And I'll let that sit for a minute. Perfect. I also think I am going to let it try and flatten these out so they get the heat better. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. What they didn't ask for, and what I'm going to add a little bit of anyways, is a pinch of salt, because I find that anything that's sweet like this could always use a little bit of salt just to help enhance the flavor and dial down the sweetness just a smidge, because this is a lot of sugar is happening today. So just get that in there, give it a good toss, And I'm going to prep the pan that I'm actually going to tip this out on, because once it's done, we're going to let it, where did my baking, oh, I've got my baking trays here. Once it's done, we're going to spread it out and let it cool off on a pan. So I'll grab that. And I'm just going to save myself pain and suffering, and I'm going to line it with parchment. And that way I will not have to worry quite so much about more dishes. Although I see I made a hole in there, so there will be some dishes. Not all of the dishes, though. So, yeah. Yes, I agree. Pineapple needs salt. Actually, most fruit could use a little bit of salt. Watermelon's really good with salt. I enjoy it better that way. And, like, salt is just the ultimate flavor enhancer. Like, I know people are like, oh, you don't want to add too much, but just a little bit makes such a huge difference. Like, I notice when especially when you're using unsalted butter. Like, if I'd had salted butter, I probably could have gotten away with not adding salt, but since this was unsalted, it needed that little bit. Oh my goodness, it smells so good. Okay, I'm gonna go back and check my next step. Where are we now? Alrighty. So I have made the pastry. Check. Caramelized the pineapple. Doing that. Then tip that out. Alright. So, wow. It's already pastry rolling time? Okay. They're not wasting any time here. So, it has set up a little bit. It's not super firm. So, let's see if we can actually get this rolled out. So I'm gonna move this guy out of the way. And I'm gonna get my mat down because it says it needs to be a 3 millimeter thick disc. So I'm just gonna lightly flour my surface here. And again, if you don't have one, I highly recommend getting one of these mats. It has all your measurements on it, your pie shape, your lengths and widths, and it comes in inches and centimeters, and it's even got your little conversion chart in the corner here, and temperature conversions. And speaking of temperatures, what do they want me to have the oven at? 400. Okay, so I will get that going in a minute. I'm gonna unroll this guy. And I'm just gonna give him a little flour on both sides, just so he doesn't stick. Where do you find? I got mine on Amazon Tat, actually, and they have all sorts of them there, and I think it's, I think I spent like $12 on it, and it was part of a deal that came with more than one thing. Like, I think it came with like some piping bags and some piping nozzles. So yeah, no, if you can, I highly recommend grabbing one. Okay, I'm just gonna turn this. And something you should always do with your dough is you should lift it and flip it around every few rolls, just so you're not, oops, not getting it completely stuck to the mat. And yeah, you can tell that this is going to be a nice crumbly, flaky dough. There we go. Just don't want to. And don't be afraid to use a little bit more flour. Like, I know they're like, oh, I don't want to overflour it. And I'm like, you don't really have to worry that much with this. It's not going to affect the hydration that significantly. Oh, yes. Tahini. Ooh, so good. So good. That reminds me, I need to put that on my shopping list because I'm out. And they have a really super hot one now, so yeah. So I'm just gonna let this sit for a second. I'm gonna go check on my pineapple. Oh, these guys are looking delicious. Probably a couple more minutes and we should be good to go to take those off the heat. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my pastry here. Now I'm just going to double check. I'm using a smaller tart tin. It's just under 9 inches. Yeah, it's a little smaller than the one they asked for, but my other one is super, super large, and I was afraid that the dough might not make it for that. Oh, that's an excellent way to do it. Ooh, dried mango with lime juice. Oh, I gotta try that. Definitely have to try that. All right, so I think we're pretty good here. I'm actually just gonna grab my ruler to make sure that we're thin enough, but I can start to see the pattern underneath, which is usually a pretty good indicator that you have gotten the right. Yeah, that's about perfect. Now, I learned this on Bake Off, and this is the easiest way to get your dough into your tart. I know that a lot of recommendations are wrap it around your rolling pin, but you can end up breaking it there. So I'm just gonna slide this guy in very gently. Whoops. Try and get it all under here. Just gonna pick it up because it's starting to get stuck to my, I should have floured this thing. Wasn't thinking. Was not thinking. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little flour on. You don't need to grease your tart dough, your tart pans, because they'll be okay. I'm actually gonna, there we go. That's better. And I just want to make sure that my dough fits on top of my tart bottom, and that way you know you have enough dough. Now, all you do is you just fold the excess into the middle gently, and then you can just pick that up and put it straight into your tart tin. I'm going to go check on my pineapple because I can start to smell. Oh, you can see it's really nice and caramelized and starting to get good and brown. It's softened really nicely. So I think this is Pack D. Oh, I just noticed Pack D, bad water. You can actually make bad watermelon good. Unfortunately, up here, we don't get really decent watermelon, and they cost an arm and a leg, so it's frustrating when you spend like $10 on a watermelon and it is the least flavorful thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Okay, so that is perfect. I'm going to take that off the heat. It smells amazing. And all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it onto my sheet. Get all that sugary goodness, buttery goodness out of there. And slide that out of the way. I'm just going to lay it flat. And there we go. Let's get this going. All right. I almost reached in and touched it with my fingers, which would not have been a good idea, because this is hot sugar, and hot sugar is the last thing you want to be touching. Alrighty, so that is set, and the last little thing is to sprinkle just a smidge of cayenne on it, so make it some spicy pineapple, because, you know, sweet and spicy is definitely the way to go. In my opinion, I like both of them. It's like sweet and salty. I like sweet and salty and spicy. So, I'm going to try and just be very gentle. Oh, maybe not those ones. Those might not make it on there. Okay, so we're just going to leave those to cool. And now we'll get back to the pastry because I want to try and get this into the fridge to set again. So here we are. And I'm just going to gently unfold it. Now, that's the other good thing about tart dough is it's pretty forgiving, and if you have rips or cracks or need to patch any holes, it's pretty simple to do. So I have got that in there nicely. Just gently nudge it wherever you need to. I'm actually just going to slide it up just a smidge because it's a little short on this side. There we go. Alrighty, so get that packed down in there and get it into the corner. Alright. I always laugh when they say corners because it's a circle. It doesn't really have corners, so get it into the sides, I guess would be a better term for it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of this excess on the side. I'm just going to roll it into a ball. And instead of using my fingers, I'm going to use the extra dough to press it in. And that seems to work fairly well. This is a little sticky today, so that might not work so well. Okay. Fingers it is. You can also use like a shot glass or a measuring cup or something. You just want to make sure that you're nicely all in there. Try and smooth out the bottom. As you can see, I have managed to leave knuckle prints in there. That's okay. So yeah, we're just going to keep, and you can just, as you go, you can slide the excess off the side. Cat, good to see you, Scoopy Dent. Yeah. So did you ever figure out what you were eating last night, Cat? Okay, so I'm just gonna keep pushing here. How are we doing? Hour 55. Wow! 35 minutes gone already? Where did those go? I'm like, because I remember when I looked at this recipe and I'm like, these guys had 2.5 hours to do this? Like, it seems like I'm not gonna have a lot to do for 2.5 hours. And we're already 35 minutes in, so clearly I don't know what I was talking about. So we're just going to continue to take the excess off where we can. And you can save it if you want. You can bake it off separately. I'm thinking here, because my tart tin was a little smaller, that it might be excess just because I have a smaller tin, so you could probably make another smaller tart, like mini tarts or something. Or it's nice if you just roll it out and bake it off and get it nice and golden brown and crispy and eat it just like that. So let's just get this excess off because we want to get this guy back in the fridge. Give it another 10 minutes or so to firm up before we start baking it off. And yeah, so we are good here. Maybe beef. Yeah, no, I'm like, I was thinking of my stream, my go live notification today, and I'm like, I was gonna put something like, I promise it's not mystery meat, because I was thinking about that. It's like, okay, so got all of the excess, and you can just run your pin over it to get the last little bits. And there, I am pretty happy with that. It's nice and solid. And anything that puffs up at the end of my baking will just fly off anyways, so we should be okay. Yeah, that looks promising. So far so good. Okay, so I'm gonna get this guy. Oops. I need to have like those mittens that babies get. Iron Chef drinking game. Ooh. Do those cakes come out of the pans? Okay. Oh, what kind of cakes were you making? Okay, you know what? I'm going to put this on a tray because if I don't, I'm going to end up putting my hand on the bottom, and since it's a removable bottom, it's going to fly right out, and then I will have negated all the work I just did. So I'm just going to slide that on top of a tray, slide this into the fridge. Okay. And there we go. Let's give that 10 minutes. Oh, a rainbow lemon cake. Yeah. Did they stick, or you just haven't taken them out yet? Oh. You're welcome back to rescue it. Oh. I know. I've had that happen many a time. All right. So I'm just going to set this extra dough aside because I don't need it. And I am done with the rolling process. So I'm actually going to move this completely out of the way. And now, what do they want me to do next? What is next? Let's look at that. All right, so made the pastry, check. Made the pineapple, check. Put the pastry in, yep, check. Excellent. Mark, thank you so much. That is really, really sweet of you. I appreciate that. Completely unnecessary, but so appreciated. And yeah, we are working on the emotes. I've got a few in for approval, but they haven't been approved yet, except for the spatchcock. I was like, perfect. All right, so now we are doing sugar. Oh, caramel, yes. Okay. It's the good stuff. All right. Get back to my scale here, and how much sugar do I need? I need 200 grams of sugar, and this is just regular sugar. They're not asking for the special stuff because it doesn't need to dissolve. It's gonna, yeah. All right, so 200 grams of sugar, which is a cup, in case you're wanting measurements that way. So there we go. So a cup of sugar. You can still look at waffles? I'm not sure. It's going to be a while before I can even consider one. So, and to that we need 2 tablespoons of water. So I'll just grab some from here. And we are going to head over to the stove because it is caramel time. How long does it want me to, like, how far does it want me to take it? So I'm just going to get this on here. I'm just going to move the pineapple out of the way so that it's not in the way of the sugar. And we're going to turn this on a medium heat. I'm just going to give it a bit of a stir just to get that starting to combine there. And yeah, that's the beauty of sugar. Yeah, corn. Oh, are we getting back to corn again? Alrighty. So just gonna let that sit. Now, one of the things you have to watch for when you're making caramel is that you don't have it crystallize on you. So I'm just gonna grab a little bowl of water and a pastry brush. And that is the sound of a drawer full of gadgets. Yeah, so I'm just going to keep that to the side because as it starts to come together and melt, it'll start to bubble and it'll start to crystallize up the side of the pan, and you just want to rinse that down because if you have sugar crystallize in the pan, your whole caramel is done. And since sugar takes a while, it's yeah, not something you want to be doing over and over and over again. And they just want us to take it till amber. That's, I like when they give you specifics, like, oh, just go to an amber color. I'm like, my idea of amber and other people's idea of amber are totally different. Metal Wave Waffle Mondays. Oh, jeez. Everybody's going to be making waffles on stream. I'm here for it. That's exactly what I need on a Monday morning. It's my metal wave. And there's nobody better for that than Mark, that's for sure. So yeah, if you're not following Mark, you definitely need to give him a follow. And I feel like there's not enough water for that. Like, it said 2 tablespoons, and I'm just like, doesn't feel like enough. And I know that once it starts to melt, it'll start to liquidize. And, well, I've made caramel. I make dry caramel most of the time. And to be honest, if you're going to make caramel, I would highly recommend doing a dry one. You just put the sugar in the pan, you let it melt, and keep stirring, and then it's the same process as a regular caramel. It's just you don't have to worry quite so much about the you don't have to worry at all about the crystallization. You will get sugar along the side that lumps up that you just won't be able to get out of it, but for the most part, it's seriously the best and easiest way to do this. Okay, there we go. Now we've got some melty action here. And yeah, so now it's like wet sand, which is what you're looking for. I'm just going to keep that. And yeah, so as soon as this starts to melt, we'll stop stirring it because you don't want to agitate it too much. You can swirl the pot, but you don't want to stir it because that'll start it one little crystal and then your entire pot will be ruined. So I'm just going to leave that to set as it is right now. I'm hoping that's doing okay. And I'm going to get the rest of the ingredients ready for the custard. So what else do we need? We need 600 mils of double cream, sea salt flakes, and 7 egg yolks. 7 egg yolks. That's insane. I need a measuring cup. So that is not big enough. I am going to grab the cream and corn everything. Yeah, corn is the new NFT. Or NFT. Corn is an NFT, as we all discovered yesterday. All right, so 600 mils. I'm just gonna grab a bigger measuring cup. So I apologize for the noise. I just need something that can hold a little bit more. So gonna dig into the back here. And so this is 500. And then I'll just use my little one for the rest of it. So 500 mils of cream. Yeah, more health food. All the health food. Yeah, I'm in the reserve dishes. I know I do have a really big measuring cup, but I find it really awkward, so I'm just gonna go with the mid-size versions. And I'm just going to put this back in the fridge because the rest of it will be used for the chantilly cream later. So the colder your whipping cream is, the better it will be. But when you're putting it in your caramel, if your cream is a little warm, it's actually probably a little less dangerous. You're not going to have it spit. And now what did I say? I said double cream, icing, sugar, cream. Yeah, okay, so there's no butter in this. That's strange. All right, so let's go check on our sugar again. All right, so as you can see, it's starting to melt nicely. And we're just going to give a little bit of a stir. We're getting close to liquid. And basically the stage that you want to leave it completely alone is when it goes clear. Because then you've sort of hit that complete melt point. Right now we've still got... yeah. Okay, so just gonna let that do its thing. Getting very close though. So, and if you can, pick away at the sugar that's stuck at the sides. More dishes. You got it. I swear, I think I need to get a t-shirt that says that, because that's pretty much me in a nutshell. More dishes. So, getting pretty close here. I'm just going to turn the heat down a smidge, just so we don't go too crazy. I'm actually just going to wipe down the side of the pot right now. So what is everybody doing this weekend? Any big plans? No, it's kind of, weather isn't super cooperative here, but it's better than it has been. There's no snow, so there's that. It's good. Emotes can include more dishes and salt. Yes, actually, I was thinking like a salt one would be good, because that's definitely one of my favorite things that I love to tell people. Salt. And just when you think there's enough salt, add a little bit more, because you're probably wrong. Okay, so we are getting very close here. Oh, did this crystallize? Oh, no. You're joking me. Oh, no. No. Don't tell me this. Don't tell me this. Don't tell me this. No, we might still be okay. Just starting to worry. Oh dear. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is crystal. Oh, shoot. No, it can't be. Come on. You know you want to cooperate. Come on, I only have an hour and 40 minutes. Definitely need more dishes emote. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely the number one. Yeah, that's a disaster. All right, so more dishes, everybody. I need to grab another pan. And let's see here. I have another saucepan. And we are going to go with this guy. See if we have any luck. So that was 200 grams of sugar. Man, it's a good thing I buy sugar in like the 20 kilo bag. So. And to be honest, that is the first time I've ever had sugar crystallize like that on me. So I suppose I should count myself lucky that it hasn't happened before. But yeah, I'm kind of like, it's never happened, ever. All right, so round 2. Yeah, yuck it up, underground, yuck it up. As I get this going again. I wonder if maybe it was the cold water I used. Maybe I'll use lukewarm water. So, there we go. 2 tablespoons of that. And let's head back over here. I'm going to put this one on. This is an aluminum pot. The other one was stainless. This one will probably heat faster. The other important thing that you want to do is not use the spoon from the crystallized sugar with the non, because that would just, yeah, like, look at that. Oh, like, that reminds me of that candy on sticks that kids eat. Like those, yeah, no, that's a disaster. So, well then. Okay, so we're just going to let this one go. This is an aluminum pot, so I'm just going to grab a silicone handle for it, because it gets hot and I forget, and then I burn myself, and that's definitely not what I would like. So while we're waiting for this one to hopefully melt and cooperate, I'm going to come back over here, and I am going to start cracking my eggs, and I need a big bowl for that to go into. So, I'll grab this one, and let's take these, and I'm just going to save the whites for something else. Looks like more meringue. Oh, that's how you do make them. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. I've seen some really good ones. I've seen tequila infused ones, which was pretty cool. But yeah, no. I'm just gonna slide my pineapple out of the way here. I think the other thing I need is more table. More dishes and more table. So we're gonna start cracking these babies. Separate them out. And hopefully do them without making too much of a disaster. So, and again, I like doing my separations by hand, and it's always easier to do it with cold eggs. So there's one. And I'll probably just make more meringue or something. Oh, not if I get that. That was close. Broke that yolk. That could have been disastrous, because then it would have ruined the entire thing of egg whites. Well, I guess you could just save them for like egg white omelets or something if you like eating things like that. I'm not a big egg eater, so I like eggs in things, but I don't eat them on their own generally. So yeah, you just start a sugar and then that alcohol. That sounds delicious. All right, so 3. This is definitely something I was not sad to have done before I made my cupcakes the other day, because this is just a messy, messy situation. All right, so and I love when the albumin doesn't want to come off. I always worry I'm going to break the yolk doing that. Man, these are cracking strangely today. The urban peasant way, yes. I am an urban peasant, and I am okay with that. Oh, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on. I need to get back to my sugar. Don't fight me. Don't fight me. There we go. So that's 5, 6. I don't know why I'm worried about counting. I counted out the eggs, so it's like, it's not like I'm going to have one too many or anything. Okay. There we go. Let's get these going. Sometimes you just need to give them a little jiggle. Pull. And last one. All right. And I have a comment to make, but I'm not going to make it until I am fully finished here. Yay, no shells. Now I can make that comment. Are we using Korean egg counts? No, I only have a room for about 2 dozen at a time in my fridge, not 2 dozen times 50. So I'm just going to rinse my hands off here really quick. So, yeah, no, definitely not Korean egg counts. They would be disappointed in this for sure. This would not meet their standards. I'm just going to write this down. And it says save the egg whites, so I'll do that for later. I'm going to go check my sugar. Hopefully it's... Oh, yeah. Okay. It's starting to melt. I'm going to be a little more gentle with it this time. I'm not going to necessarily stir it. More swirl it. And let this melt down nicely. Because, yeah, there's that. Alright, I'm also going to get my oven started. It needs to be at 400. So I'll get that going. Oh, yeah, no, definitely no Korean egg counts here, that's for sure. I'm just going to give it a tiny bit of a nudge here. Be a little more gentle with it. And I might as well just get this out of the way. Yeah, that is that is officially spackled to the bottom of the pot. So we're just going to leave that, because that is not going anywhere. And I can move this pot out of the way while we're dealing with this. Alrighty, so the next thing to do, they say, is to... Where am I? With this. I need to get a move on. I need to have a bit more urgency, pep in my step, because, yeah, an hour and a half, holy smokes. This hour has gone by like crazy. So, we were heating this. Ah, yes, now we need to blind bake. So, I am going to grab that crust out of the oven. There we go. And I'm just going to slide my eggs out of the way here. Slide them over here because I need to be there eventually anyways. And I am going to grab a fork and we are going to get out all of our frustrations and dock the bottom. And you want to go right down to the very bottom. It will, after it's had its blind bake, we'll have an egg wash, an egg white brushed over it, so it will seal, so you don't have to worry. So yeah, make sure you push all the way through to the very bottom of your tart. And this will just help it not puff up too badly. So I think we're good there. This is great if you're feeling annoyed. Industrial garbage. Oh. Alrighty, so that looks good. Now we need to grab something to weigh it down. Now I know a lot of people use those fancy schmancy baking beads, which are ridiculously expensive, and I can't be bothered because you really can achieve basically the same effect. You just line your tart with parchment. I'm just going to grab scissors to get some of that excess off. And just going to there you go. Just push that down. I prefer actually using just plain old sugar. And I actually have sugar for blind baking. So you can use it over and over again. You can use rice, you can use beans. You can use, if you have those beads, by all means, go ahead. But yeah, I find the sugar works really well. And the best part is after a while it's toasted, so you can actually use it for recipes that call for toasted sugar. Yeah, and I find that this holds it down beautifully without being, you know, something too expensive to waste, because, you know, like you see people using rice or beans or whatever. And so you just want to make sure that you push it down and get it into the corners. And yeah, there we go. Because it needs to be the weight, but yeah, no, so it's definitely an economical alternative and one you don't feel quite so bad using. And let's do that. I'm just going to make sure. Let's give a peek around the side just to make sure you've got it all in there, because it can be deceiving. And you do want to give it a good push. The only drawback is that you can end up with sugar all over your kitchen if you tip it. But considering nothing is particularly fun to clean up that is all over your floor, I guess I will choose sugar. And, oh, I hear something over at the stove. Let's go check this out. Okay, we are starting to go here. It's going to be very gentle. I think we are going to have much more success this time. So we're just going to leave that. I'm like terrified to touch it. I don't want anything going wrong. I'm just going to give it a swirl here. See if that works a bit better. Okay. There we go. You be good. You be good. I'm just going to check my oven and see. No whammies. Yeah. No, I'm just, oh, come on. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. And my oven is nowhere near 400 yet, so I'm going to move on to the next stage. I'm going to grab a tray to put this on because you always want to have something to stabilize your tart tin. It's just easier to get it in and out of the oven that way. And especially since we're going to be pouring a custard into it. Definitely don't want, there we go. Get that out of the way. And let's come back to this. So we're just gonna, one last check to make sure here, because this is gonna bake for about 18 minutes once we get up to temperature. Usually my oven doesn't take very long to heat, but seems to be a little on the slow side today, so yeah. I'm gonna take this over to the stove though, because I now need to keep an eye on this sugar. I'm starting to get a little nervous. Oh, are you kidding me? No. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Let's just give you a swirl. Let's just give you a swirl. Come on. You need to behave. I am like terrified to touch it. I don't even want to look at it right now. I'm like, what do I need to do to these egg yolks? What do they say? So, get that. Oh, just whisk the egg yolks so I can do that. These egg yolks might not be getting any caramel if I'm not very lucky with this today. There we go. So I'll give them a better whisk in a bit. Just try and keep my whisk from falling in my bowl. Okay. Please. Oh, this is what causes the crystals. Sugar comes up the side and it just falls back in. It goes back into its sugar state, and then just like anything, once you start one, everybody wants to join the party, so it goes right back, which is not a lot of fun. It's kind of the same theory as you would with tempering chocolate. When you're tempering chocolate, basically what you're doing is you're melting it down and changing its breaking down its molecular structure, and then you're making it reassemble in a more sturdy chain. So that is this. Oh, come on, guys. You can do this. You can do this. Not looking terrible. It doesn't look like the other one did, so I'm holding out hope here. Holding out hope that maybe if I add a little bit of water, because I'm starting to think that 2 tablespoons of water was not enough water. I'm just gonna, as I'm brushing down the side here, it's obviously adding more water. Good to know. Yeah. It's all kinds of fun stuff. That's why baking is a science. Because there's all these weird things that happen. And you have absolutely no control over them most of the time, like with sugar crystallizing, but when you're tempering chocolate, you sure have control. Alrighty, so I'm gonna let that sit for just a second. I'm hoping. It looks like it's getting meltier. Okay. Alrighty, so we've got that. Got the pineapple done. Got these ready. Just need to bake my case and make some sugar and some whipped cream. And how long do I have? Hour 22. Okay. Okay. I'm only starting to yeah, I love food chemistry. Yes. I love when people learn something. Because I don't know, I go down rabbit holes and I spend so much time reading about things, and then, you know, like I can't remember what I had for breakfast most days, but I can remember things like, you know, you want your chocolate to go down and when it melts and dissolves, and then you want the molecular structure to go back into beta chains. So yeah, there are those things. Oh, come on. You're killing me, Smalls. You're killing me. Like, it's looking kind of clearish. I'm just gonna give it a little tip here, see if that works. Because honestly, if this one crystallizes too, I am making a dry caramel. Forget the recipe, I'm going off book. Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. And oh, you've had so many good rabbit holes too, Mark. Like, so many. All right, so we're at 400. Like, I've learned so many new bands from you in the last couple weeks alone. All right, so that's a 400. We are going to bake that for 18 minutes. Start the timer. Excellent. Okay, and we are going to stare into the abyss that is my sugar that I am not thinking is going to cooperate. And if that's the case, yeah, we're going to dry caramel, because ain't nobody got time for this a third time, which is what's happening right now, is looking like the exact same disaster. I'm going to give it a swirl, see if maybe it just needs to melt itself a bit in the middle, because it looks okay on the side. Like, it's not terrible on the side. I know what I am going to do, though. I am going to put the bowl for my whipped cream in the freezer, because when you're whipping cream, you want everything you're using to be as cold as possible. Cream is just finicky that way, so I'm just going to slide my bowl into the freezer, and your beaters too if you can. I'll grab my whisk and my bowl, put these in the freezer. She says there's nothing wants to fit. There we go. All right. Okay. Sugar. Oh, bloody hell. Don't tell me that this is doing this again. Honestly. You have got to be kidding me. I have never crystallized sugar in my life, and this is twice now. This is why I don't make caramels that have water in them, because this happens. I'm going to give it like 2 more minutes just to see if maybe it's going to magically do something that I'm not expecting. But I have a feeling that that is not the case. And I am going to go grab another pot. I'll be right back. Okay, kids, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. More dishes. There we go. Yeah, this guy looks like a lost cause. I don't want to put that in there. I really have a feeling that, yeah. And disaster. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that is not going to melt nicely. Maybe I'll just give it a few more seconds. Maybe it just needs a little more time to melt. I'm like, it's pretty freaking hot though, so I'm thinking, yeah. All right. That is a shit show. And honestly, if we actually get this tart done today, I'm not going to eat it. No, I'm joking. I will try it, but yeah, that is lost cause number 2. All right, back to the drawing board. We are on caramel number 3. And truthfully, if this doesn't work, I don't know, man. It's going to be quite the disaster, because I'm running out of pots. Well, that's not true. I still have a few, but more sugar. Yes. Yeah, this is feeling more. It's definitely feeling like Bake Off right now, Tat, for sure. Okay, 200 grams, and we're going dry caramel this time, because, like I said, ain't nobody got time for this. Oh my god, I can still hear it sizzling. It's just like, it's mocking me from the stove as I'm measuring out this sugar. So, there we go. And this is actually the best the way to make caramel sauce, personally. Like, I make all of my caramel sauce this way. And since we're not adding butter, it should be okay to set. Because there's nothing, I don't find there's much of a difference between making caramel with water and making it without, other than, obviously, the pain and suffering. Mom, yeah. You don't believe I'm running out of pots? I'm not running out of pots, but I'm running out of patience, and I'm definitely running out of time. So let's get back to this. Yeah, this thing is still mocking me. It's like still sizzling. I hope you're proud of yourself. All right. Yeah, like, I'm going to make candy out of that. So now we're just going to let this heat. And yeah, more dishes because I need another spoon. Jeez. Using all the spoons today. Yeah, short-handled one here. And alrighty, so how are we doing with the tart? We've got about 12 minutes left on that. And yeah, that's the beauty of a dry caramel too, is that you just sort of sit and like it, literally you just sort of poke at it, move it around a bit, and it just, all of like it starts to get a little sandy and a little, you can feel the moisture because it's got bound water in it, so. And there we go. So yeah, it's almost impossible to screw this one up. Oh, thanks, Mom. I do enjoy making caramel most of the time. Today maybe not so much, but at least it's giving time for the tart to bake through. So there's that. Well, I'm running out of burners because you can't even put these pots anywhere else. Because they're still so hot, because that sugar is freaking hot. Like, I touched the bottom of this one when I thought I would empty it into the garbage and realize that it's, like, spackled on there. So, yeah. And you just sort of keep moving the sugar around. And you are going to get some up the side, and you're going to get clumpies that don't dissolve totally. Most of it will dissolve, but yeah. So, I'm just going to do this. I'm actually going to I've got heat pads, and I'm just going to move these off to the side because, yeah, they're taking up space. Plus, looking at them, they're just mocking me, so I figure if I don't have to look at them, maybe this guy won't get any ideas if they're not around. Yes, I still have my induction burner. I actually meant to do a test because I've changed the way I have sound. So with this microphone, I meant to test it to see if it interfered, and I didn't get a chance to today. So once I have a chance to test the microphone with the burner going, if it doesn't interfere with it like it did that one day, then I will definitely get back to using that more because it's just easier and faster. So So, and it's weird because, like, it looks like it's doing nothing, and then all of a sudden it just goes boom and it starts to melt. And how are we here? Do it live. Oh, thanks, Pac-D. Yeah, definitely it's a lot easier because the other ones were just on the cameras, so it's, you know, it was dependent on me being close enough to it to hear, or, you know, I'd walk over here and it was the camera on the stove. And you don't want to have it on this camera because then you can't hear me over there. So yeah, this actually works out really, really well, and it doesn't get in the way, so that's even better. Do it live. Yeah, no. I'll fix it in post. We'll just edit out my caramel disasters. Alright, so this is starting to melt. Okay. I'm just going to turn you up a smidge, because you can't really screw this up, so let's give it a little bit more jet fuel there. And it will look like it's clumping and miserable, and you're like, oh my god, is this ruined? It's not, I promise. And you can see at the bottom of the pot there, it's starting to get sticky, so yeah, you just want to keep moving it around so that it doesn't sit too long, and that the heat's evenly distributed. And these big chunks actually just end up melting anyways once the majority of it is liquefied. Yes, yeah, no, like, I know. I am probably the luckiest person on the planet to have, like, the best tech support available at pretty much my beck and call, which is kind of amazing. Like, yeah, no, I am extremely lucky that I have all of the camera stuff figured out. I was gonna say the microwave. I'm like, no, let's try the microphone. Yeah, so... Alright, come on, baby, you can do this. Now I'm just waiting for this to melt. And you know what? Like, I don't mind. If the content is good, I really am not as worried about what a cooking stream looks like. Like, it's when someone's stream is simply production and nothing interesting about it, that's where I have a problem. Like, I don't care if you have all the fancy stuff. I care if you're entertaining me. Because this is TV, this is not radio. Like, if I'm on Twitch, I want to be watching. I don't want to be listening in the back. And there are streamers that I do put on in the background to listen to, like a lot of the big DJ streams, like Kutski or something. Like, he does, like, I love him and I love his music, but he's just not watchable. Like, you just can't sit down and, you know, watch it. Like, unless you're really invested in the chat, and... you know, the chat is hit and miss some days. So it depends on the people that are in there. So, oh, there we go. Okay, come on. Yeah, and, that's exactly my biggest pet peeve is, you know, people who just are radio, because this is a visual medium. Like, you're supposed to use it, like as Underground is fond of saying, it's twitch.tv, not twitch.radio. Okay, and I'm sure that this is fascinating today. We might actually get caramel. I'm hoping. Oh, I'm hoping. Alrighty. And I'm actually going to grab a bowl. That guy is dumb. Kutski? Or that guy I just quoted, that Underground guy. Because it's like, even watching, like, and it's the same thing with Brisk. Like, I love watching Brisk. Well, I love listening to Brisk, because I've been a huge fan of Brisk since I was, you know, back in the 90s. And, yeah, I can't, like, his streams are the only thing that changes about his streams are the lights, the colored lights that he uses that denote which day he's doing. So if it's hardcore, or if it's, techno, or house, or... drum and bass, like, literally that's, and he put a lot of money, like, he and his girlfriend just built a brand new house. The Underground guy, yeah. And, like, he built a specific room just for streaming, and, yeah, like, it's got it's vinyls all nicely laid out in bookshelves, and has got a couch, and a carpet, and a tree, and his decks and everything, like, his whole streaming setup. But, yeah, like, I'm not going to sit there and stare at his computer for 3 hours. I'll just download it later off SoundCloud. Okay, so we are slowly but surely getting there. I'm just going to bump the heat a smidge more, because this is taking forever, and I have an hour. And I still have to make the custard, cool the custard, fill the tart, bake the tart. And that tart needs 40 minutes to bake. I'm thinking that this may have been more ambitious than I was expecting. So, needless to say, at least the pineapple went well, so there's that. But he can make food, but can he make food in AJ? No. I know he can drink a lot of wine because he's got a wine fridge, but I think that's about the extent of what he does in the food and drink arena on his stream. Okay, so this is getting close to melted. How are we doing here? Got about 4 minutes left on this. And yeah. Oh, this is already a better caramel than those other two could ever have wanted to be. So getting there. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that alone to let it simmer. And yeah, because now we're just waiting on the tart base and get that cooked. Because once it comes out, I need to take it out. I need to brush it with egg white. I need to put it back in and let it bake for another few minutes or so. I think 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Oh, 3. Okay, that's way better. All right, so we are getting good and golden here. It's gonna let this start to melt nicely, and it's already turning amber. That's the beauty of it, is you're not wasting time, because part of the worst part of the sugar process is that you're waiting for all the water to evaporate before the actual caramelization can happen. Here, you're skipping the middleman and going straight to the caramel part of it. So there is that. I am starting to feel the heat of that clock. I'm like, hour 5. Okay. We can do this. So okay, we're getting close. And you can usually just smush the big chunks that are caught at the bottom, and you want to get it as smooth as you possibly can. You're going to have some parts that don't, but I'm going to sieve it as I pour it into the eggs, so it's not a big deal. Because now, what we've got here, it's a beautiful golden color. It's nice. I believe, to me, this is amber. Like, I actually saw someone in a kitchen on a YouTube video once. They actually had like a paint chip color wheel type thing that had all the various stages of browning. All right. Yes. So you can see around the sides of my pot, I've got some sugar that's stuck, and it's just not gonna melt down with the rest of it, and that's okay. I'm not too worried about that, because the main body of my caramel is golden. All right. So I'm gonna take that off the heat, because now we need to very slowly add in the cream. And it's going to bubble and hiss, and you want to be really careful about this. So just, there we go. Okay. So we've got this. And are you kidding me? Did that seize? No, it did not. It'll melt down again. So, alrighty. So we've got the cream in, and we're going to put this back on the heat, and we're going to bring it to a boil. Are you joking me? Okay, we're going to bring this to a boil. We're going to hope that this primordial ooze redevelops itself into, oh my god, what is going on here? This is seriously the worst I've ever seen. Oh my goodness. Oh no, you have got to be kidding me. Okay, I'm gonna let that sit for a couple minutes. I need to take my tart out and get the baking beans out, my sugar out. All right, ooh, that smells good. That smells very, very good. Alrighty. So this sugar is also going to be extraordinarily hot. So Just be super careful. I'm just gonna take the spoon out here because I'm gonna rest my pan. You just want to gather it up gently. Move it out of the way. There we go. So I'm gonna slide that off to the side. Okay, this guy looks pretty good. Got a little bit of color there. Didn't puff up too much. Excellent. I'm just gonna grab egg whites and another pastry brush. And all right, and I'm just gonna brush the tart along the sides and bottom to seal it. There we go. It smells delicious. That's actually more sugar than I've ever put in a tart dough before, so this is a new one for me. Usually it's just a couple tablespoons, not a whole lot. So got this nicely bread. I'm gonna toss these egg whites. I didn't think to separate one aside, so we're just gonna do that. So I've got all that, and yeah, this egg white's just gonna seal up these holes so that the filling doesn't come out the bottom. Alrighty, so do that out of the way. Get this guy back in the oven for another 3 minutes. Okay. And while I'm looking at all the shout outs, shout out to my amazing mod, Underground Rescue. Thank you so much for getting on top of the shout outs and everything, because I don't always see them right off the bat. Okay, let's try. Okay. We're melting. No, we're not. We are not. This is. Yeah, that is officially sugar cream. Okay, gonna let it come to a boil. I'm not gonna totally panic yet. Still got a couple minutes because I still need to get this custard in. Because yeah, like this tart's supposed to bake for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I've got an hour left. Fantastic. Okay, panic. Yes, I agree, Mark, 110%. If you have a mod who is as invested in you and your stream as you are, you cannot go wrong. And I am very lucky that my mod is just as invested in me as I am. I am really thinking this is not a good thing. Seriously, I have never had this happen before, ever. Nice tart base. Based. Yeah, okay, you're fired now. You're interested in this caramel? Invested in this caramel? Yeah, I'm a few bucks into this caramel now. Like I said, it's a good thing I buy sugar in like the 20-kilo bag. Hi, cat. Oh, yes. Grab the popcorn. Oh my goodness, this is disaster. Oh, this isn't going to melt back in. I don't know why I'm trying to fool myself. This is a total disaster. Yeah, that is not happening. That is not happening at all. Wow. I'm kind of speechless, actually. Yeah, that I don't even know what to call that. And I suppose if I put it back in the pan, it might have a better chance of melting, but you've got to be kidding me. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Coffee color. It actually smells really good. That's the horrible part. Induction time. Yeah. I don't know, Dad. I honestly don't know. It's probably because, you know what it was? Today I felt like totally calm and cool and ready to go. And I'm like, I can do this. Not a big deal. Not a big deal at all. And, yeah, apparently that's not the case. Yeah. You know what? It's a little humid. It's not terrible. We don't actually struggle with humidity most of the time unless it's been raining for the days. Like, it's usually pretty dry here. Okay, you know what, kids? It's time to take the tart shell out of Saved by the buzzer. It's time to take the tart shell out. But I'm going to take another look at it. You know what? I'm going to give it a few seconds. Because honestly, this is... Oh, wait. Oh, no. I fooled myself. I'm like, oh, I don't feel that clump anymore. No, it just moved. Wait a minute. Oh, maybe. Oh, no. It was just avoiding me. It was playing tricks with me. Yeah, that is going to end up being... Yeah, that is not happening at all. I'm like, I'm trying to get... Thank you, Bagdy. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I've got a really gorgeous tart base that I'm actually super pleased with. And I have caramel that is, that, you know what, I can pretend, I can keep stirring it and pretend that something different is going to happen. This is the definition of insanity. I've done it 3 times expecting a different result, and it's clearly not going to happen. So no thoughts, I've got to walk. Oh, I've got to walk. Yeah. I would like to think I'm superhuman, but you know what? And if I'm ever gonna wreck a caramel, doing it here with, you know, friends around is probably the best time to do it, because honestly, if I were by myself, I probably would be swearing and screaming. Nah, I'm not usually like that. Okay, I'm sometimes like that. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give this like 2 more minutes. I'm gonna take this tart shell out, because I'm still trying to think. Oh, Coffee Road, hey. Yes, oh, agreed. Good to see you, Coffee Road. Yeah, I'm lucky. I don't pay for water here, and the water that comes out of my sink on a normal basis is about 120 degrees. So I am super, super lucky. I can just let the water run, and it will clean out my pots in about 5 minutes anytime I do anything with sugar. So yeah, I'm very lucky that way. Just gonna... Oh, wait. There might be hope after all. I might keep telling myself. The clump is getting smaller, so there's that. But I really don't have time to let it sit. I've got 55 minutes. Oh my goodness. Alrighty. Well, I guess we'll see. Alright. I'm gonna take this baby out because I don't want it to cook too much more. Looking good. Smells good. Hasn't puffed up, so that's awesome. And I'm going to turn the heat down because it needs to be 275 if I'm actually doing this custard. We shall see. All right. Oh, I'm starting to get some boiling action here. And I'm just like, it is feeling softer. So it's kind of like a really chewy caramel candy right now. So if I can get this to a boil and dissolved, we might be in business. We might be here for 6 hours, but we might be in business. So there is that. Alrighty. Yeah. Oh, it's getting smaller and it's clumpier. Yes. Okay. I'm starting to feel a little better about everything right now. Like I'm feeling a little more positive about how this is going to turn out, because literally I'm standing here thinking to myself, what am I going to put in a tart? I'm like mentally going through all the things that I could make in a relatively short amount of time that would get me in the 53 minutes. And yeah, okay. We're boiling. And this buddy is getting smaller and smaller. As I'm sitting here thinking to myself, maybe I should just get rid of it. So a pineapple jelly tart. Actually, you know me, I've got that gigantic bag of chocolate. I don't know if I have enough cream, but we could be heading down the chocolate ganache route if this doesn't work. Or I've got these egg yolks. I don't have any emergency lemons, so I used those the other day, so can't do a lemon curd. I'm literally trying to think of all the other things I could possibly pivot to as we're getting here. Okay, just melt. Come on, just melt. I just need it to melt. It's supposed to boil and then simmer for 10 minutes. I'm like, I don't have time for that. I do not have time for that. Are you kidding me? So a quiche then? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we could be. Oh, it's sticking. Okay, we're boiling. We're boiling. Oh, are we gonna boil over? That would just be the icing on the cake. Let's not have that happen. I'm just gonna take that off for a bit. And I'm going to turn the heat down. Because I'm ridiculously hopeful that this is going to work. I know that timer is definitely not my friend right now. And yeah, we're getting there. At least it has dissolved, so we're getting there. And it's supposed to just simmer for 10 minutes until it thickens up. So fingers crossed. Caramel soup. Yeah, pretty much right now, Kat. I'm like, it's supposed to simmer and thicken up, so fingers crossed, because usually when I make a dry caramel for caramel sauce, you melt it, you put in butter, and then you bring that and the cream back to a boil and let it sit for a couple minutes, and then you're done. But there's no butter in this, and it didn't call for it because there's going to be egg yolks in it. Or there may be egg yolks. Who knows? I'm just going to touch the bottom of the pan. Oh, you know what? It has all melted. Okay. Complete disaster averted. Not a total disaster. Pause the timer. No, that's cheating. They don't pause the timer on Bake Off. They just run around and freak out. But they do not pause that timer. Okay, well, I'm going to give this about 9 more minutes. And we are going to, how are we doing here? This guy's pretty warm. You know what? I'm going to stick him in the freezer. And while just to cool off a bit more, I'm just going to grab another pan to put him on. Because I really don't need to melt all the things in my freezer. So, do this. And I'm just going to, no, it's not going to work. Let's grab oven mitts here. I love those things, but they are really awkward to handle, so let's try not. Yeah, Vietnamese coffee. Thanks, Underground. Okay, so I'm putting this in the freezer, and I'm also going to grab the bowl out of here that I've put in to do my whipped cream, because might as well move on to the next step. Do some multitasking here, so we'll get that out of the way. And this into the freezer. And yeah, so we'll do that. And so how much did I need for the cream? 300 mils of cream, 50 grams of icing sugar, and a teaspoon of vanilla. Okay, so 300 mils of cream. Just gonna grab the measuring cup again. And well, if nothing else, we could just bake Korean waffles, I suppose. So let's get this 300 mils of cream. There we go. And to that, I'm going to add 50 grams of icing sugar. Let's get this guy over here. Grab a spoon. So 43. There we go. I hate icing sugar. It's so messy. Tastes delicious. It's very useful. But it's so messy. Okay. And in goes the cream. Perfect. And you teaspoon of vanilla paste. Got corn. You know what? I honestly, yeah, I think that that's pretty much the extent of how this is going to turn out. And a teaspoon of vanilla paste, perfect. And we're just gonna get that out of the way. Get some of this stuff out of the way. And see your Costco run in the future. Actually, I have a brand new sugar in the pantry, so I'm doing okay for now, which is good because I'm going through a ton of it today. I'm just gonna grab my hand mixer and do this. Oh, I guess bringing, yep, there we go. So the whisk in here, and plugging it in always helps. Amazing thing about things that need electricity. And we are just going to whip this until it's nice and firm. And that's literally the only thing that makes chantilly cream is adding vanilla. It's just a fancy way of calling it vanilla flavored whipped cream. Yeah, I do like my Costco runs, but haven't actually had to go for this week. I was wondering what I missed out on this week. Now I know. No chopsticks. I just saw that. I'm like, no chopsticks. 45. That looking over there. I'm just going to change this camera because I just realized I can use it as a peek. Okay, looks good. It's no longer a technical, it's more of a miracle if it gets anywhere near done. This is a lot of cream, a miracle technical, yeah. I'm starting to think this is Korean waffle levels of whipped cream. Again, it's a small tart. I'm wearing half of this cream now. Not enough mung beans. Maybe, yes, for one waffle. Almost there. Okay. Very close. I'm so nervous I'm going to like turn this into butter by over whipping it. This seems to be how my day is going. But it needs to be stiff enough to tight, so. And there we go. Okay. Yeah. Not butter. Excellent. Yeah. I'm just going to give it a little bit more by hand because that'll just finish it off. Because with my luck, I would turn it into butter today. So, yeah. that's pretty good. And that's how I usually do my whipped cream. If I'm nervous about taking it too far, I'll take it almost all the way and then I'll just do the last bit by hand, because I'm way too lazy to do this by hand the entire way. I've seen people do that and I'm like, yeah, no. I'm like, I enjoy arm workouts, but not as I'm trying to make things. Okay. Yeah, that's good. Perfect. Okay. So let's go back to my soup. Okay. Okay. We're not terrible here. Not terrible. It has thickened a bit, which is good. I'm just hoping that it only got about 14 seconds. I don't know how thick it's supposed to be. It has thickened, so I'm confident about that part-ish. Let's see here. Okay, well that's been 10 minutes, and I'm not quite sure exactly how thick it's supposed to go, but I'm going to turn that off, and at least it has all combined back down into an actual liquid. Because now we get to do the fun part, which is tempering. I'm just going to grab something to put under my bowl so it doesn't slide. And so we're just going to give these a light whisk again. And it's fine to leave them for a while because, honestly, you didn't put any sugar or anything in them, so it's not like they're going to start cooking. So, alrighty, now we need to temper, so I'm just going to very, very slowly. Actually, you know what? I'm going to grab a ladle to do this because I can just see that entire pot going in and causing scrambled egg disaster. So we're going to slide closer to the stove here. And do not fall in. Oh, that was close. Alrighty. So I'm going to do this a ladle at a time. And I'm going to be really slowly adding it while whisking so that I don't scramble. So we'll very slowly drizzle. Okay. So far, so good. It's like, I'm just worried it's gonna like seize up. There we go. And after a while, you get it to that point where the temperature of the eggs has risen, so you don't have to worry quite so bad. And it won't be as bad this either, just because the eggs are now well at room temperature. So just drop by drop. It's like watching paint dry. Just get a little bit at a time here. And I'll probably do this ladle and then one more full one, and then I'll probably just pour the pot and get that going. And then I am going to sieve this before I put it back in the tart shell to bake, just in case there are any eggy strings that end up happening, because that happens with almost anything you make with eggs. You can't help it. As much as you try, you're going to end up with some. Database, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by to the Caramel Disaster Show. If you're not following Database, please make sure you are. They're super awesome streamers, great people, and they have a show coming up on May the 4th that is going to blow all of your minds. I cannot wait. And I would play the video, but I can't get to my tablet, so I will do that shortly so that we can remind everybody exactly how fantastic May the 4th is going to be. Okay, so we're getting there. Getting there. The sugar incident, yeah, we're just, it's like Fight Club, we're just not going to talk about it. First rule of sugar incident is we don't talk about sugar incident. Okay. So I'm feeling pretty confident here. Plus that ladle started to cool off, so I've got emptier. So I'm going to do one more, and then I'm just going to do it by the pot. So fingers crossed. Because I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, 37. Oh, sweet. Thanks, Underground. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Yeah, and those eggs are probably as close to the regular temperature. So we're just gonna do it from the pot here. Yeah, it's nice that you can actually do some things, because right now it's like, trying to get something happening here. Okay. Getting close, getting close, getting close. All right. Okay, I am pretty excited about that. And most of the sugar actually dissolved, so that was good. Now, I'm just going to grab my tart out of the freezer. Let's have a little time to cool and set. And I'm going to pop it back on the tray. I put it in the freezer because I wasn't sure if I was actually going to try baking this custard or not, but I am. So we're going to now pour this into the tart shell. Where is my sieve? And I'm just going to do it through a sieve. So, sweet like sugar. There is a lot of sugar, and there is a lot of sugar disaster happening today. So I'm just going to pour this through my sieve. Let's see if I can get a better grip on my bowl. I didn't really think that through. Just so that I don't have any eggy, gross parts. So we're just going to fill this. Very carefully. Okay. And like I said, I'm using a smaller tart shell, so yeah, I have a ton of soup left over. That's okay. So we're just going to give this a bit of a shake. There we go. And now we need to bake this off. And that's the other reason you want to put it on a tray, is because trying to move that would just be a disaster. You want to be really careful that you don't get the custard on the outside, because then your tart will stick to your pan. And all that hard work. All right. That's 45 minutes. So, yeah. You know what the funny part is? The next thing to do? More sugar. Yep. Yeah. They actually figured that, you haven't already spent all of your time doing various things with sugar, so let's make some more for decoration. And I'm just actually going to grab this whipped cream and put it into a piping bag. Pineapple quiche. Yeah, no kidding. I'm starting to feel like there's all the sugar, like it's just, all you can smell is sugar. All you can smell right now is sugar. S'mores for decoration. You know what? I had way more success with meringue and marshmallow, which are two things that I think are much harder to make in this realm of, difficulty. I definitely put marshmallow and meringue above caramel, but again, this is the first time I've ever had caramel go quite so badly, so there is that. I'm just going to grab this, get it into a piping bag, and get it into the fridge before it wilts. It's getting hot in here. The oven's been running, the caramel's been going, and we have 33 minutes. That tart's got to be in for 45, so spoiler alert, we're not making it. We are not making the 2.5 hour time limit, so I'm okay with that. If we actually end up with a tart at the end, that would be fabulous. Did I bump the fridge can? Are we better there? Sorry, I didn't even notice. I'm not usually looking at myself. Is that better? Fonzie really makes real food. Yes, I do. I try. Oh my goodness. This has been the most fun disaster I've had in a while. So there's Always that. And to be fair, at least nothing caught fire or burned. Like if I had to pick a disaster to have, I would definitely choose. Thanks, Underground. Appreciate that. Alrighty, so whipped cream is in the bag. Just gonna squeeze the air out. There we go. And I'm just gonna stick this in the fridge because it's getting a little too warm. There we go. Alrighty. So, because I don't have a sink full of a million things already. Do we try it? Do we try the sugar? Does anyone want to see potential disaster or maybe huge success? Because this tart is supposed to have sugar decorations, so... All right, I'm seeing a yes. I'm seeing a couple of yeses, so looks like... Oh my goodness. Yeah, it looks like we are going to do the sugar. I'm just going to double check here. Perfect. Alrighty. There we go. Oh my goodness. I bumped my mouse and now there we go. Okay. So, perfect. Looks like we are doing sugar. Yeah, spin, spin. I love that song. I hope my sugar turns out as well as happy as that makes me feel. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to get the induction burner and I'm going to try that and we'll see if it interferes with the mic, and if it does, then I will stop and I will go back to the stove. But if it doesn't, then woohoo, we can do the sugar right here. Thanks, everybody. We can do this. We can do this. All right. Let's get some of this stuff out of the way. Don't need the brown sugar. I literally have nowhere to put anything. And I'm going to grab the induction burner. So you'll let me know if it goes wonky, right, Underground? Okay, let's just clean them up. Oh yeah, and I need another pot. I'm gonna be doing dishes for 10 years, I swear to God. Like, it's funny, after my last two, which one? My soup salad and breadsticks stream? Oh, it needs a pot on it first. My soup salad and breadsticks stream and my first stream, I had so many dishes. So many dishes. It took me like 2 hours to do them. Lemon meringue day wasn't too bad. So, I'm just gonna grab another. No, pots just walks now. No. I still actually have pots. Pots. Alrighty. Sorry guys, don't mean to keep running out of you, but there we go. I'm just gonna get that. We've got this. I'm going to stop. That dough is done. Just gonna see what it wants for the caramel. What would it like for the caramel? It would, or the sugar decorations. 85 steps later. All right. Heat sugar. Oh, man. It wants sugar and water again. Okay, we're gonna give it a go. Yes, it's the, I don't want to eat anything. I don't want to drink anything. I just want to go lie down after I'm done doing all my dishes stream. Okay, so for this one, it wants 300 grams of sugar and 3 tablespoons of water. That's a lot of sugar. If this goes pear-shaped, I quit. No, I'm joking. I don't quit. We're going to try it, but I probably won't do... I will probably only try this one more time because I only have one more pot left after this one that I can use on here. So, 300 grams of sugar. And so that's a cup and a half. All right, 300 on the... Oh, 301, whatever. Oh, no, 300. I love how my scale has a moment of indecision and then decides it was actually right the first time. So, grab that, and I'm going to grab 3 tablespoons of water. It says do this over a low heat. And I'm thinking with an induction burner, that's probably a good idea. So, I'll get that. And I'm just going to move this out of the way. And let's see here. Plug this baby in. Okay, so power. Can we see it okay? And we're going to turn it down to a 2. As it says low heat, and this is 1 to open bag 5 and use sugar. I'm just waiting for an Allen key. That would probably help, right? Doesn't that work on everything, basically? Okay. So I'm just gonna get this going here. How's the mic? Is the mic okay? Okay, good. It's interesting that this interfered with the camera, but not the actual mic. This worst trance song ever. Yeah. You know what? Melting sugar feels like a trance song. Endless. Endless. All right. Okay, wow. This is like already starting to bubble. I'm going to take this spoon out of the way because I don't want anything potentially sugary going desperately wrong. So I'm going to give it a swirl. Because I think if I lift the pot up, it will actually turn off. That's how these things work, so. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Well, and let's be realistic, this mic is way, way better than the one that's on the camera. The one on the camera is good, but this is definitely a level up for sure. I'm looking at this clump in the corner, and it's literally giving me PTSD after this afternoon. I'm like, it's going to be a while before I make anything with sugar. Now, let's see how we go here. How are we doing? Got my nervous bounce going. This pile of sugar is killing me. It's killing me. Well, the funny thing is that since my butt isn't magnetic, it wouldn't do anything because it needs the special magnetic pots. So, yeah, wouldn't be too bad. Okay. I'm looking at this lump of sugar and it's driving me crazy. It's making me insane. Okay, I'm gonna try it. Oh, okay, I can lift it up a bit. Gives me a second, okay. Because I wasn't sure, because I've heard of ones that turn off as soon as there's nothing on top of it, so I'm a little nervous about that. More rock candy, oh my god. Oh, database, do you want to see what happened earlier? I'll go grab the pots to show you. These happened. Yeah. Like, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I'm getting my steps in too. It's gonna haunt me forever. Alrighty, let's go back here. Because I don't want to take my eye off this for too long. And cement, it's pretty much cement. Yeah. Literally. And it's the first time that has ever happened to me in my life. Yeah. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, maybe it's just doing something different for a change. No, it was in fact 2 pots of a complete disaster. Okay. This I'm feeling a little, okay. Oh, there we go. Okay. So you have like 3 seconds before it turns, it's like, there's nothing here. All right, so this is looking a little better. I'm a little more confident. Just need my wash with the pastry brush here. I'm even terrified to use this pastry brush again. Maybe it was wooden spoon. You know what? I've never had a problem with wooden spoons. Most of the time, I actually prefer using wooden spoons because they just work better. Just going to brush down the sides here, try and keep it. Try and avoid any potential crystallizing that might be on its mind. Okay. Seems to be going well. And this is definitely looking better than that original. Like, it actually looks like it's going to melt. It's not starting to bubble up and get weird like the other one was. Try heating it up before you have a complete disaster. I think it's pretty much gone back to its primordial state. It's given up on life. So I'm gonna. Okay. Sorry. I'm just gonna call it a day and write it off and be like, yeah, and that's what I'm worried about. So, because they say agitate it, don't move it around too much, and don't do that. But like I said, I'm not used to making caramel with water. I'm used to doing the one that eventually came back earlier today, so that was good. It's always a good sign. I am like, come on, you can do it. Well, like this looks way more promising than those other two pots did at any point earlier. And yeah. And it's so funny how quickly it just goes from 0 to garbage. It's like unbelievable. Yeah, agitate the sugar, not me. I'm not agitated. I'm kind of like disappointed that I've wasted so much sugar, but whatever. It's just sugar. Things happen. Yeah, this is definitely looking better than my earlier attempts. Let's see if it goes okay. It's starting to bubble, which is always a good thing. And I'm just really hoping. I'm gonna go take a quick peek at the tart. I will be right back. That. How are we doing here? Yeah, no. That's still got half an hour, so. It smells really good. It's kind of a beautiful golden color, so. Alrighty. Now's here where it went pear-shaped the first 2 times, so let's see if we can get this to come on. Don't even, come on. I'm like literally induction. Okay, well, we'll see. I'm hoping that this is actually gonna work, and I love this thing. I love this induction burner. I would use it for everything. And now that I know it doesn't change the mic, so there's always that. And okay, I'm afraid to breathe on it. I'm serious. It's like I don't want to touch it. I don't want to breathe on it. I don't want to look at it. And I'm looking at it, and I'm really hoping that it just starts to bubble, toil and trouble here. Oh man, this is not terrible. Not terrible. It's not looking. It's so funny. You can see the ring. Like, can't see it from where I'm standing, but when I'm looking at the screen, I can actually see the ring of where the induction burner is. That's kind of funny. Okay, I think we may have liftoff. I think we might actually have liftoff. I probably shouldn't have said that until the sugar got COVID. I probably shouldn't be doing a victory lap until it actually turns clear, but this is definitely more promising looking than those other 2 pans of disaster on the stove. Like I said, I'm just really glad that I don't pay for water, because I can let my super hot, like I can brew tea out of my tap. That's how hot the water is that comes out of there. So I am eternally grateful that I can just let the water run and dissolve all the sugar for me. So, okay. Bubbles on it. Don't want to pop them. I don't even want to breathe on them. Houston, we have a disaster. Don't say that! We're getting so close! I really honestly think that this could work. Like, the edges, around the edges is looking pretty good. And we needed to get to a boil. So, like, this looks nothing like the other 2 pots did. So, you know. Yeah. Okay. Come on. Come on, baby. Like, honestly, like, you know what? I'll buy you a new purse or some nice shoes or something if you cooperate. Like, I'm willing to bribe it to get it to do what I need it to do. While I pretend that I'm not looking at it, I'm actually going to grab a tray and get it covered in parchment, because what I'm going to do is, once it gets to the point where I can actually drizzle it, I'm going to take a fork and just do zigzags on parchment and let that set. Okay, I trust you. I trust you. I trust you. I'll be back. This side of the way. Alrighty. So, I don't want to jostle that at all. I'm just going to move that out of the way. I don't think I need the butter for anything else, so I'm just going to slide it out of the way too. It's funny, because when I actually... that makes you and I both, Mark. I'm just... It's funny, because I'm like... I'm not even really breathing. I'm barely breathing, because I don't want to, like, disturb it. And I'm like... We're getting there. It's like, I'd like to turn the heat up a little bit, but I don't even want to do that. Like, I don't want to... It seems to be going okay. I'm like... Aw, thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. It's funny, because I talk to myself when I bake and when I cook all the time anyway, so this is actually kind of a perfect thing for me to do. Is, you know, I usually, instead of talking to myself, now I'm talking to more people, which is awesome, and I love it. Okay, this is way better than... Okay. Don't breathe on it. Yeah, no, if you're looking for an induction burner, I definitely recommend this one. I grabbed it. It was, I think, $50 at Walmart. It's a Sultan. It's a it's a good brand. I've got other things by them, and I am pretty impressed with this. And then, yeah, like, you have to have the cookware that a magnet sticks to the bottom, because it's all magnets inside that causes the heat to be produced. Oh, I just want to stab it or something. It's making me crazy. Yeah, well, and let's be realistic. Underground, my stove here is pretty ghetto. Like I know my oven runs 25 degrees hotter than it says on the dial, and so I account for that, which is why you should always have the thermometer in your oven, because you find out all those neat things like, oh yeah, you thought it was 350? Oh no, it's 375, closer to 400. So you can't use it with the magnets? No, you want your cookware, when you take a magnet to it, the magnet sticks. So, oh, That's right. I totally forgot, Elizabeth. I would probably say do not have an induction burner if you have a pacemaker. Because, yeah, I don't know how that would work. And I don't want to find out the hard way. That is a no-no. You know what? I'm going to read up on that because I'm curious about that. I'm sure that's not entirely true database. I'm sure something would get made, like a grilled cheese sandwich, maybe. Oh, like this is honestly like my heart is right here, right now. I'm like, please be good to me. I'm not feeling particularly confident right now. I'm going to bump the heat up a little bit. I think, because it's starting to brown. Oh, wait. It's starting to turn color, so I'm worried that it's not going to melt through. Yeah. Everything disaster. Yeah, 2 feet between the stovetop and, no, since you can't be 2 feet away from the pot, that kind of negates having an induction burner. Good to know. Thanks for looking that up, Underground. I appreciate that. Okay. I've turned this from low to medium heat because as fascinating as this is, I need to find out right now if this is crystallizing. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? No! It did it again! Oh my goodness. You've got to be joking me. Okay, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes because I'm a little concerned that maybe I'm just, getting ahead of myself. But judging by the chunks around the side, you know what, Tad? I'm thinking that might be the case. I'm starting to wonder if maybe I just, because it's not, like I keep it in an airtight container, but it might just be the day. Who knows? Oh yeah, man, that's not gonna go anywhere. That is going nowhere fast. I'm gonna give it a couple of minutes here, just in case. Got 9 minutes, why not, right? Bunk Costco. All the other sugar, like I've made a bunch of caramels and stuff with this stuff. I don't know why this one has decided to be finicky. Yeah, I'm thinking RIP sugar because we're already starting to get color here. And yeah, there's crystals all along the side here. I'm just gonna do a quick little test. And see if we can nudge it to life here. Yeah, no, that's starting to turn color and burn. Give it a swirl. This is hilarious. Because, yeah, you can see it's starting. It's funny, it's starting to get color. I shouldn't have breathed on it. You know what? I'm thinking I'm not going to use that sugar. Because, you know what? I've got one more pot. Might as well give it one more try. Because I am clearly not making my time, but I still have a tart in the oven that needs to finish baking. So, all right. Yeah, that is not savable at all. Like, yeah, it's already starting to color. So, all right, literally one pot left. I'll be right back. what's serious is I don't even have places to put all these pots that I'm using. That's the best part of this whole thing right now is, yeah, I don't have it, like, I literally have nowhere to put anything. Alrighty. One more pot. And what I am going to do, I'm actually going to use caster sugar, the sugar that I use for meringues. I'm actually going to use that instead of this because I'm done with